Hey, welcome to the Whiskey Wealth Warrior podcast. I'm your host, Glen Palmer, and this show is for those who respect the craft of fine spirits and think long term about wealth. Now, before we dive in, very quick word from our sponsor. This episode was brought to you by Whiskey Wealth Mastery, where serious investors learn how to build wealth through whiskey cash the right way. Now, if you've ever wondered whether whiskey could be more than something that you just drink and actually something that you own, grow, and monetize strategically, that's exactly what we do. So find me on LinkedIn at Glen Palmer Online or check out the show notes below to explore further. Because if you're going to play the long game, you might as well play it like a warrior. So today I'm joined by Levin Woodall from Weldon Mills Distillery in North Carolina. Now, this guy knows the liquor industry from multiple angles, from brand growth and distribution to working closely with the ABC system. And for those who helped turn bourbon brands into serious performers in a controlled market. Levin, welcome to the show. Really appreciate you taking time to come out
Thank you.
and join me.
Thank you very much. I'm so excited to be a part of something over the pond, It's sick.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. I'm really interested in today's show, as you'll soon find out. So let's kick this one off, shall we? With one that I ask everybody. If time travel became a reality and you had a chance, Levin, to go back in time to when you first started your career, what advice would the person that you are now actually tell your younger self?
Man, I would tell my personal self just to be yourself. I think that is the most important lesson that I have learned over the past 7 6 7 years in the liquor industry.
Yeah,
There are so many ways that you can do this. There's so many ways you can do it. But I think by me truly being myself and doing things that I think are best for me or the company or whatever part of my life that is. It's made me who I am. It's given me the reputation that I've gotten. I believe it's given me the relationships that I've gotten. I tell myself never put on the golf polo and the khakis because I just think that's where sales go to die. You lose all of your personality, you lose all of your things that make you you while you're good at selling, and you have
yeah.
to go put on a golf polo and khakis and be something that you're not. I pride myself and I've never worn the golf polos and khakis. And I've never done it. I've gotten in trouble for wearing just a t-shirt instead of a collared shirt at times.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that. I'll get in trouble for that because I do think if I could tell myself, "Just keep being you," because at sometimes it might be difficult or you might get, you know, dirt thrown on your face, whatever, but in the long run, you build who you are, you get to be who you are because that's who people know you as, and that
Yeah.
is the most powerful tool that you can give a human being, especially a creative, talkative, loving, caring person. You want them to be themselves. You don't wanna put them in a box.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, Levin, you've worked on both sides of the North Carolina AB system, which gives you a pretty unusual perspective. Now, firstly, for those of the people who are wondering what the fuck is an ABC system, like me,
Right.
I had to look it up. Would you kindly enlighten them? And secondly, what does that teach you about building a bourbon brand in a controlled state that most people on the outside just aren't aware of and really don't
A
appreciate?
absolutely. First and foremost, I can say as somebody that has lived in a control system, understands the control system, sees the pros and cons of a control system, I can say the benefits of a controlled system are great. Okay. All the money that is generated in our state what comes to liquor goes back into the direct community and then the community at large.
Nice.
It really does work and prices are the same. So I don't want to sit here and bash a system because if it is going to be a system, it does work, right? And that's how I look at it. So what it is, the North Carolina, ABC system is 90 years old this year. Before that, we were a
Nice.
prohibition. Yeah, we were Prohibition era. So all of liquor was moonshine runners, the whole gamut. Funny enough, where I live is this is a side tangent, but where I live in Johnson County, North Carolina,
Mm.
some would call it the moonshine capital of the world. I don't know, but I think it is. My
Now
family's
that is a place
farm,
I'd like to go to.
yeah, yeah, my family's farm, we sold it a handful of years ago, but growing up, like, we went out there all the time, hunted out there. Percy Flowers stills were on my family's farm.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. So he lived like Percy Flowers plantation is 5 minutes up the road. It's where my wife goes and gets her like massages and facials and everything. Like, they it's
How
literally
times
like
have
right up.
changed.
Yeah. So, no. So the history of North Carolina ABC goes back all the way to those times. And the way it's set up, we have 100 counties in our state. Essentially, every county has a board that they have erected, and they control the liquor for that county.
Okay.
Now, North Carolina is a control state, so the state controls the distribution of liquor. So there's a lot of intricacies to it, but basically, this is how it goes. I am at Weldon Mills, so I have to sell my cases, my liquor to the state of North Carolina. The state of North Carolina has a listing meeting. They'll list it on their approved list. It's thousands and thousands of products in a book. That then, once the state picks it up, that lets every general manager of the counties know, okay, you can now order these products. So then it is up to the distillery to then go sell said products to all the different counties in the state of North Carolina. So you
Right.
have so we have 100 counties. We actually have 172 boards. So some counties have multiple boards inside of them. That causes some riffraff and some not really that bad, but it does cause some confusion. Or, you could sell something to this guy in one county and you need to go sell it to the other place because you have it in multiple restaurants and that guy doesn't want
Yeah.
to buy it. It doesn't work, so it has its own hiccups, but it's fine. So now we sell the product to the state. The state is carrying it in their warehouse. They distribute it out to the counties that order it. It's our job to get all the counties to order it, all the boards. So what you have in reality is my job is to become friends, get to know if you have a territory, your area, but I like to do the whole state. So I've gotten to know a lot of these general managers. So I get to
Yeah.
go talk to them. And that's where it gets fun because, yeah, Jim in this county might love Weldon Mills and he buys 20 cases a month or whatever. But Tammy in this county, they don't, whatever. I don't care. And so
Yeah.
they're not ordering it. So you have that 172 times. So
Wow.
it's never changing. It's always fun. You're always dealing with good days, bad days, good, people are happy, people are sad, numbers are up,
Yeah.
numbers are down. Um, but that is a controlled state. And then there's a lot of rules on top of it. So all of our products are the same price in the entire state across the board. Um, the We're closed on Sundays. We are open between set hours. There's laws and rules that every board has to operate under, but they are allowed to operate independently under those rules. So it's
Right.
really
Okay.
hard. It's really hard to like streamline anything or control. It's very controlled, but you can't control what they do, right?
Yeah.
So it's really hard to streamline it because you have 172 boards at 172 banks, 172 different, internet providers. It's just all, it's all controlled under one system, but they all kind of get to do what they want as long as it's within those rules.
Yeah.
So that is a controlled state. It is controlled chaos, but it does let you. So probably the biggest thing, all of that money that's generated, if you don't buy liquor, if you don't drink liquor, you're not contributing to that tax system whatsoever. So
Right. Okay.
we are in the Bible Belt down here. and that is real, and you got a lot of people that don't drink liquor. They think it's the
Yeah.
devil.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it and to each their own, I understand it, but if you don't partake, you're not getting taxed. You know, that money's not yours. So
Yeah.
that's a good way it's set up, and then I've personally seen small counties get a new general manager and, change the way that things are going, and a whole police station get new police vehicles, you know? Like, I've seen the money generate in these small towns through
Yeah.
their ABC system, and that money goes directly back to the town or to the county, so
Yeah. I
it
mean,
it it has.
I find it
Yeah,
absolutely fascinating,
yeah,
really.
yeah,
Now, can you, if you were, let's say, could you sell out of North Carolina to a separate state, or does it have to stay in
yeah.
North
Well,
Carolina?
if there's one, like, and I'll tell this to anybody and everybody, if there's one I like this system. I don't love the ABC system. I don't think anything should be controlled. If some states aren't controlling it, then why is our state controlled? I think
Yeah.
adults should be adults. That's just a personal principle belief I have. While saying that, I do respect the system. I've worked in it. I see where it's good. My biggest gripe is, man, I can ship liquor to you. I can ship it to South Carolina. I can ship it to Tennessee. I can sell liquor out of state in most states. I can't if you came to our distillery and you were staying in a hotel in Charlotte, right? You couldn't then order a bottle that you just had at the distillery and have it shipped to your house in Charlotte. You can't we can't ship within the state because it's technically not controlled. Like, that's a gripe I have. Like, that
Yeah.
stifles us as North Carolina distilleries. I can't ship it to my homeboy that's 3 miles down the road, but I can ship it to some random person in South Carolina. We're all adults. I mean,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that is like that's the one gripe I have,
Yeah.
that I would, like, sit here and actually care about. There's other, like, small things, but, nobody's I like I said, I like the system, but,
Yeah.
um but yeah, sometimes you get into hiccups, and,
Yeah.
but I will say we run it pretty well.
Nice. So
Yeah.
Weldon Mills, they've built a strong reputation around the spirits market,
Mhm.
and but bourbon in particular. So what do you think makes the bourbon brand actually stand out today when, so many bottles are fighting for attention on the shelf? What's the distinct difference that Weldon Mills brings?
I'm with you. So, my last job was just looking at ABC stores and figuring them out, right? Like, how can we make this sell more, right? Um, I love our labeling. I do. As somebody
Yeah.
who's I've made, 2 labels that are selling in liquor stores right now or have sold out. Um, it's you got a lot to look at and a lot to think about, right?
Mm,
I like, there's a lot of ways you can go, and you can make anything bold, but do you want it to be bold or do you want it to, like, fit in and matter, you know? What I've learned with bourbon, you don't want it to be crazy bold to where it's gimmicky because your buyer likes neat, nice things. They want it to fit in. They want it to be warm, inviting. I love the way our bottles are positioned. I
yeah.
think, um, the design of it, like, I'm looking right at here. I know you said whiskey, but, like, house vodka. This is our moneymaker, right? This is the number one selling product,
Nice. I
North
like
Carolina
that.
product. Yeah, it's clean. It's easy, right? We're trying to
Yeah.
go up against Tito's and beat Tito's. It's a clean bottle. You know what you're getting. You're getting house vodka. It is a clean product. It's a clean packaging. I love it. Don't try to
Yeah.
do too much, right? Then you have our new weeded bourbon. This one's brand new. It just came out this past week. It
Nice.
is, yeah, 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 it's our single barrel, weeded, or excuse me, small batch weeded. I'm getting confused with all of our things. Um, Look at, I mean, this is screen printed on it. The bottle has great curved body to it. The emblem is embossed, like, it's like,
Nice. I
that's what
like
you
it.
want. Like, when
Yeah.
if you hand somebody a $125 bottle that that, like, check, the bottle looks good, we can move on to what's inside. You
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
think about it, but you don't want to think about it, right?
Nice.
Um, and then you come into like this, you come into a $300 bottle, and that's where you really get
Oh,
into the packaging, right?
Norman
So
53. I like that. So
that
what is
this is
that?
our so this just released at our distillery, I want to say last weekend or weekend before. So this is a fun story. Let me tell
And
you.
you get to test out all of these
Oh,
different.
I get to
What
drink
a
all of
fucking
it. Yeah.
job.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, man. I got cases on cases, right? But I'm crazy. I have had a garage or a shed full of liquor, like we're talking cases and cases, since I was 22 years old. Um, but I don't touch it. I just I really don't. I really don't. It just sits there. I
Wow.
sell it. Yeah, very disciplined. It's not my thing. But I love it. I enjoy it. But yeah, I can let cases sit there for years and it doesn't affect
Yeah.
me. Um, Weldon, so the 53. So let me tell you this. And I started Weldon in January, and I came to Weldon because I think what we have and what is growing here is the
Yeah.
future. Yeah. Well, Norman's 53. So our master distiller, Mike Norman, he was the most awarded North Carolina distiller alive. What we do at Weldon, we do small batch. He was all about small batch, doing it the right way.
Hmm.
Because when you say small batch, you could be talking Jack Daniel's small batch could be 5,000 barrels. Okay, Norman's 53 is 53 barrels of
3
bourbon.
barrels.
That's it. That is a small batch. Okay. Um, when we got started, we were making a lot of bourbons in smaller casks. Don't have to age them. It makes sense. Um,
Yeah.
the we are now fully rolling. We're maturing everything. Big Mike's big thing was he wanted to do a proper run. He wanted to do 53 barrels, 53 gallons. This was going to be his baby, right? So they were working on that. I can't do this part of the story justice because I wasn't there, right?
Yeah.
But they've been working on this for years. Mike was in there. Unfortunately, last year Mike passed away at the distillery,
Oh, wow.
dur- on at in the Rick House during this project.
You know,
So he was
you can look at that morbidly, or you could look at it as saying, he died doing
right.
what he
What he loved.
absolutely
Oh,
loved.
you'll never, and that's the thing about Weldon Mills. You'll never see me spend something like a morbid light. Our owners that would never do that. It's more that's how we look at it. Like my man loved this. He was here every day doing this. I couldn't have had a better way, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so because of like unfortunate part of the story, he never got to finish. He never got to see it at its full I can't say the word nutrition, the mature
Maturity.
age, maturity. Um, so we're doing it right. We're doing it
Yeah.
absolutely right. It's a full display case with the bottle. We're releasing it in batches. So barrel one has been bottled, and barrel two has been bottled,
Now,
and then
how can I get my hands on one of them bad boys?
I was thinking about it just this morning. I don't know. I've seen conflicting texts. I don't know if Norman's is online or not, but I will get an answer for you because I do we're selling it out of the distillery pretty well right now.
Mm.
People know we're the number one distillery in North Carolina doing it craft, like and doing it craft, doing it hands on. This is small batch, the top of the line, so it's going quick. It's right now from our distillery in locations, and then you could do some are going through our ABC system in North Carolina to specific boards, but should be online. We can make that happen with 2 clicks of a button, right? So it could be if we need
Nice.
to get it online for a specific reason or a window for the over the pond boys, like it can be done. I'm
Yeah.
sure. Now, I don't know about we're just really behind the scenes podcasting now. I do not know about shipping liquor from here to another country, but
we
Look,
can sort
I'm willing to learn anything.
we can sort that out, I'm sure. So
Hmm.
moving on, I mean,
Yeah,
when you're talking about when you're talking to buyers, accounts,
yeah.
distributors, what is it about the Weldon Mills bourbon that really seems to land with people? Now, is it the liquid itself? Is it the story?
It's,
The
I,
plethora of the awards that I've seen, online, or is it a little bit of everything?
it's a little bit of everything, but I'm gonna tell you mostly it's got to be the people in the story.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, our owner, so Bruce, one of the owners, he's 82nd Airborne, was in our military for 25 years down at Fort Bragg at least. I know he was
Mm.
in it for a very long time. Um, and so his first bourbon release was Soldier's Cut. It's proofed at 82. Shout out to his homies in the 82nd Airborne, and some of the proceeds go to Gold Star families. So,
Fantastic.
like, and he was a Bruce was a JAG officer. He was a I'm so bad when it comes to military rankings and all that, but he was a lawyer in at 82nd Airborne. Um, and he likes to help people, right? And so that was what that was all about. And they're good people. That was kind of like we're going to do this first and build off of that. So
Yeah.
that's how a lot of people got to meet us. And then from a personal level, like you spend any time with the Weldon Mills group, you can feel the love. Like my first weekend with the team, we were sitting around the fire, drinking some bourbon, talking, getting to know each other. Like that's who we are. So
Mm.
you get to know us. We bring you in. We're going to hug you, and it's going to be authentic. It's real, and we just want to share. We want to have fun. We at our core, we believe we are selling spirits. This is a fun industry. Does it have its shadows and its darkness? Absolutely. But for the most part, we all know we're having fun. So let's have some
Yeah.
fun. And that's what we're doing. We're having some fun with science. We're having some fun with people. We're learning how to sell bottles that are $100, $12. It's every day is different, but we enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
And then from the success level, North Carolina, it's so many people that you have to, like we touched on, you have to sell to. I think we've done a really good job of getting to know those people and caring. We invite them to concerts that we have we see this as at the theater we have. We see this industry is our family. These are our coworkers. There's no reason if a GM's having a bad day and they don't want to buy from me, there's no reason to push it or keep it. None of us at Weldon believe that, oh, push it, get the sale today. No, let it breathe. We'll go back next week. People have bad days. I'm going to have to see this GM many, many times over the next 10 years. There's no reason to burn that bridge. Take your time.
Yeah.
So, and so I think from being on the outside of Weldon for what, 4 or 5 years, and then now coming in, knowing everybody as well as I did, I can tell you from the outside, you can just see these people care. They really know what they're doing. They'll take the time to explain it to you because they care and it means something. They're not just doing it. And you're going to be loved. And I saw that. And I think everybody sees that. And the success is a proof of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I know Weldon Mills also plays in other categories like vodka, gin, tequila, but does the bourbon still feel like the heart of the brand, or is that the thing that gives it identity, or is that
Yeah.
shifting?
I think uh I've battled with how to explain this, right? I think coming in, I was like, oh, the bourbon, right? Weldon Mills bourbon. This is the most important thing. And it is. But absolutely, that is the identity, that's the heart of it. That was the whole reason that we're doing this. But then you get into a distillery and you find out, hey, other things make good money that allow us to keep doing this fun project that it's at its core.
Yeah.
Um, so ipso facto, here's house vodka, and we've turned that into the number one selling North Carolina product. It is a clean vodka, all made right there in North Carolina, and it's 12.95. People love it.
Mm.
And we partnered with plenty of different entities to get that out there. It's been at the Hurricanes games, but you find your core and your love is bourbon, but you got to do other things, right? And with us expanding and growing, that is a challenge. You find out like we got to keep this vodka pumping, and we also have to keep production here going, and that's
Mm,
something that's just fun growing pains. Um,
yeah.
but no, the bourbon by all means. So let me give you a quick idea of why it's bourbon. So we are located on the Roanoke River. So you have a river, like going this way. You have our still house, or excuse me, our like event center house. It's a mill house. Right here, old has our bar, shopping, event space. Then you have a 100-yard like football field that is owned by the town. They keep it manicured. It's beautiful parking lot. Right here, you have the number one rockfish put in the world. So if you like rockfish fishing, it's there.
Yeah.
All beautifully manicured by the town. And then you have our distillery right here. So aerial view, man, it looks like we are really cooking it. Um, and we are, but help from the town. But man, it's a beautiful, beautiful footprint. And with that, all of the water we use comes from the Roanoke River. All of the
Nice.
grain and corn that we use is from North Carolina. The cornfield is, I think, 15 minutes away from the distillery. The All the way down to the barrels that we're using are made in North Carolina. Like, it is North Carolina through and through, this is what we do.
Yeah.
So, that is what and that was the goal from day one. So, that is at the heart of it. The heart of it is take this Roanoke River, something that has been a lifeblood for North Carolina, just do the research. I mean, all the way back to Native Americans. It is The Roanoke River has so much history in North Carolina. We took it. We're going to take it back. We're going to use these North Carolina resources and make this bourbon. And then we do it for what are we doing it for 5 years or so now? And we're
Yeah.
proving that, hey, with all these North Carolina resources, you can make the best product coming out here.
Yeah. And what I love about that is not only are you supporting local businesses, which is fantastic, but
Hmm.
you're cutting down on like transportation and shit like that. So, your environmental impact is extremely low when you think about
Oh
it
yeah,
because you're not having to import any of the stuff. It's all locally sourced, locally grown. I love that in a story.
yeah,
One of my favorite things is when you don't have to go outside of whether it be a city, whether it be a state, whatever, and everything is locally produced. I love that. So yeah, love what you guys are doing. And
thank you.
Levin, you built a career around growing bourbon brands, and truly understanding what resonates in the market. So, where do you see the category heading over the next few years? Are you seeing more interest in things like experimental aging, different cask finishes, or like
Mhm.
you said, the limited releases from distilleries like Weldon Mills? Where do
I'll
you see
be
it going?
Yeah. So you're right. And I approach this whole thing very different than most. Bourbon history, like my Instagram feed, I'm not gonna have all these different distilleries. That's not my it's not my content. It's not what I see. What I see, I grew up building custom homes with my dad. I grew up. My grandma was a seamstress. I've always loved fashion and clothes. I like high quality. This is a selvage raw denim jacket, handmade. My pants are I have 3 I'm not bragging, but, like, I have handmade jeans on. They're up in the $300 market. Well, I'm selling a $300 bourbon. What makes me buy these $300 handmade jeans? Because that same sentiment's gonna relate to the bottle. So that's what I do. That's how I like to look at things. I can see where a lot of things are changing. Bourbon, clothes, cars, it's getting more like I'm buying a car now. I'm looking at a small electric company that makes not that many cars because I know that comes with a lot of detail and craft, right?
Mm.
So that's the world that I understand. I can relate different worlds to different industries and see the similarities. The bourbon game, I overall, like, I know what you do. I'm so fascinated with what you do with because I used to run a investment program for another distillery. Um, I know enough that I know it. I don't know enough that I can talk about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but no, so the market, I think you're gonna see a lot of things change. I think it's gonna go a lot of ways. I've always done small North Carolina, right? Weldon is growing out of North Carolina, but and that's gonna be new, fun waters for me. But I've only ever done NC, grown NC. What I see for NC, I'm a big champion of hometown heroes. I think a lot of my distillery owners that I'm friends with, we all kind of did the same thing 5, 6 years ago before COVID was, all right, let's go get all this product in every ABC store, any store we can. Let's go get it out there. COVID hit. We didn't have as many sales as a whole. Not everybody had as many sales reps. Product was everywhere, but you didn't have people taking care of it. So it made a lot of people upset. North Carolina products don't move, yada, yada, yada. Then you get past COVID and you see some people pivot, and instead of trying to distribute across the whole country, okay, we're just going to be our hometown's hero because we're doing concerts in the square now. Everybody's doing First Friday with all the small town events. So we're just going to go be our small town distillery and clean up at all these hometown events that happen post COVID.
Yeah.
That's happening, and I'm seeing so much success. You have to change your mindset as a owner or as a director, and know that you're not necessarily going after those huge wins anymore, but you'll pick and choose. Um, but if you really take care of home, I have seen people are building it. People grow and just take care of home, and then they go from the small warehouse that's 5 minutes outside of town to buying the old building that's on Main Street, and they really don't need to try to go into other states because their hometown's taking care of it. They don't have distribution to worry about. They don't have all those other fees and expenses. They're just taking care of it right there at home.
Yeah.
That is something that is happening with your more local distilleries. Um, you're also seeing a couple that have positioned themselves very well for the future, and you're always gonna have that with anything, right? And so there are a few distilleries I know locally that as the bourbon market does go down over the next 10 years, they've positioned themselves well, and your smart distillery owners and your directors, we know that you can buy barrels at discounts if you have it. Like, like we know that you can hedge yourself for the future. We know this market isn't looking great. Like we know these things, but there are things that you can do. And I think it's very individual. And I'm a big believer in don't try to follow what the other guy's doing because you
Yeah.
might not know the friend that the other guy has that can give them that opportunity that you would never even have the chance to. So don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
That happens a lot in this world. But yeah, I think it's key to everybody should be on their own path and paying attention to what works best for them. Because if I've learned anything about this industry, it's just one more day with one more crazy conversation that will flip it to a whole nother way. And in this liquor selling world, you have the craziest conversations and you have to know that they're real and you have to
Yeah.
know that you need to follow up on it. Um, but yeah, I think the market goes crazy for 10 years. But I do think there are plenty of people that know that and have positioned themselves well
Yeah.
and will act accordingly. And to wrap it all up with a bow, yes, I think your small releases and I think your small batch or your more hands-on or experimental is key, but everybody can do it and everybody can do it well. That's not the problem anymore. The problem is you have to get with the times and learn how to sell it. And that's different.
That's
It's
the
selling
key.
and that is different than it was a year ago. So, that is a whole nother hour-long conversation. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's more craft.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Levin, thanks again for coming on and
Absolutely.
introducing Weldon Mills to the listeners and the viewers. And on that note, want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Levin, for coming on the show. I'm sure some of my listeners and viewers will want to know more about Weldon Mills Distillery. So,
Uh-huh.
how can they get in contact with you and learn a little bit more about Weldon Mills?
Absolutely. Our website, Weldon Mills Distillery, just search that. You will plenty of hits. You'll know exactly. We all know what we're doing online now.
Nice.
I think it's Weldon Mills on Instagram.
Yeah,
I'll look really fast. Yeah, Weldon.Mills on Instagram. Search Weldon Mills Distillery. Personally, you can find me. I'm really liking LinkedIn because I'm realizing my industry is on it. So you can find me on LinkedIn. Just search Levin Woodall, and then
nice.
yeah, man, I'm very open. I'd love to talk to anybody. You can shoot me an email, levin.woodall@weldonmills.com. Um, Literally, if you wanna buy our bottle, I'll sell it to you. I have a passport. I'll fly to the UK in a heartbeat with a suitcase full of bourbon, alright? So, you
Nice.
tell me
I
what you
love it.
need, and I'll be there in 2 seconds.
I love it. Well, that
We'll get the cowboy in London, we'll have some fun.
Yes. Well, that almost wraps up today's episode. I want to thank you, Levin, for joining me on the show, sharing your passion with me, and I wish you all the success at Weldon Mills as you continue to
Thank you.
scale. Just a quick reminder, this episode was brought to you by Whiskey Wealth Mastery, where serious investors learn how to build wealth through premium whiskey casks the right way. Now, if you have ever wondered whether whiskey could be something you own, grow, and monetize, not just drink, you can download free information guide at whiskeywealthmastery.com/free. You've been listening to the Whiskey Wealth Warrior podcast. I'm your host, Glen Palmer, and today I was joined by Levin Woodall. Thanks again for listening and watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.